And you may find yourself listening to an unsuccessful album, and you may say to yourself, why did they make this? Well, I believe it's, one of many reasons. They wanted to continue with Talking Heads. There had been some kind of split with what many consider to be the mainspring of Talking Heads. I'm not sure that's the case. And reading Chris France's book, Remain in Love, his autobiography, certainly he views it that way. This, of course, is the album terribly titled No Talking Just Head. Terrible. And it's Chris France and Tina Weymouth, of course, with Jerry Harrison. Yes. And there's only one member of Talking Heads that isn't there. So they've got an enormous amount of special guests to do the vocals. I listened to this at the time. I listened to it when it came out, actually, in 1996, if I remember rightly. It was quite vilified by the press in a sort of, well, this is not really Talking Heads, is it? How dare they? That sort of thing. Quite a lot of that. And I thought, pshaw. Listened to it and thought, it's not as good as it could be. It's a bit like listening to the Talking Heads canon and then listening to, and when you get to True Stories, thinking, both of the iterations of that, thinking, I don't know, that sort of thing. I think that way about Bits of Naked as well, actually, the final album. Anyway, I listened to it again, because I'm a glutton for punishment, folks, frolics, listeners of Steve's First Rambling Reviews, so many of you throughout the globe. And I wanted to see if there was any opportunity to reappraise it and say, do you know what? It's a slumbering giant and an overlooked gem, this. Both slumbering and overlooked. It's neither of those things, I'm afraid. It really, it sparks into life occasionally. But the first track, Damage I've Done, with Jonette Napolitano, it just isn't enough. Although you've got the ticking synth and the easy guitar and it's a kind of narrative vocal, it's got a big aimless chorus, and you can't do that. So many bands fall into this trap. Can't do that unless you're going to give us something else to move on to. Oh, that may be an aimless chorus, but however, they've got this as well. You have to give us something else, and they don't on that track. And that's, I suppose, what the basis of the Tom Tom Club is. But that's got an interesting basis to it. But the Tom Tom Club has an interesting basis to it, which I really like. Not everybody likes that, but I don't mind, although sometimes with the extended tracks, when they are even more extended by remix, I'm thinking, could do with this just coming off this right now. They do mine one seam a lot of the time. I just like that seam, you see. But that doesn't work with Damage I've Done. Michael Hutchence is around for The King Is Gone. Even he can't really make this something extremely special. It tries to get there with the squelchy backing and a lovely funky bass from Tina Weymouth. And there are some sax blaring, clipped horns. It sounds a bit like Naked. Neurotic funk in there, which sounds a bit like Talking Heads. And the guitar's skating along. Jerry Harrison's guitar with a great bass. It could be something special. With that dramatic vocal, it works. It's not quite there, but it's getting there. The track itself, title track, No Talking Just Head, I still hate that title, with Debbie Harry on vocals, is a kind of reggae bass and an easy vocal. It sounds like it's dashed off. It does sound like, that'll be okay, that'll do, that's fine. It probably isn't, they probably worked on it for so long, but it doesn't sound that way. However, I really like the baggy feel of Richard Hell-assisted Nevermind. Big Larry vocal there. Quite like the Maria McKee lilting vocal, because it juxtaposes on No Big Bang with a really racy, dirty feel. That dirty guitar floats by as if to say, oh, doing a lilting vocal, are you? I'll just dirty it up a bit. There's not much else to it, but I like Tom Tom Club. I like what there is. Now, Sean Ryder is in. It's there. He's in, and don't take my kindness for weakness. Sounds a bit kind of bongos and toasting, and I thought, it's not going to stay here, is it? I couldn't remember it. But then the dirty riffs come in, and it really pushes along. It's a great brew. It's quite a cacophony, but I like it a lot. The best track is coming up. Before then, though, we've got 80s art pop, disconnected vocal, brittle funk guitar, No More Lonely Nights is not like the McCartney. No more lonely nights. Yeah, less said about that, the better. It's not great. A bit like that McCartney track. It's not great. It's an 80s art pop track, and that's becoming popular again now. In 96 it wasn't. Punk Lolita, though, with Debbie Harry, is just best thing here by a long way. I love the sloganeering vocal that she's got, with a tight and bass-led funk. A sunny synth line comes in just to jolt you out of things. There's an insistent guitar and a slithering bass. It's just great. Kind of track, cries out for remix galore. And then the penultimate track has got my favourite lyricist and musical icon for me, Andy Partridge, in it, so I'm bound to like it. I don't feel I can really comment on the song because it sounds great, but it's Andy Partridge. It's called Paper Snow, which is a title that sounds Andy Partridge, so I love it. I've got to make that caveat. I'm caveating it crazily. It's got a tight and whispering feel in the middle of it, and there's a kind of that kind of falling, surging, leading, declamatory vocal that Partridge does so beautifully. He's all over this verse. The verse has actually got a bit of reggae in it, to be honest. And then there's a feeling, it comes down to try and find its way back into that surging again, as if it needs it. I love this track, but that's not to say that it's just because it's Partridge. It might not be very good. I'm saying that because everything Partridge does, even the later stuff, when he stopped being part of XTC, I'm thinking, that's just a sketch. I'm still loving it. So, this album, is it any good? No, it isn't, I'm afraid. It's got moments where I think, that's really rather fine. But it needs to be more than that. It needed to be more than that to get over well, David Byrne seems to be doing alright. We're going to have a go now as well. Well, this is what you produced, is it? It's that kind of thing. It's a shame, because these three talents are huge, and those singing talents they've got are huge. It doesn't quite come together. So I won't be revisiting it again, but David Byrne's first solo album proper, I think that's right for re-evaluation. Don't you? Ta-ta.